Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Champagne Lloyd, and welcome to 5 Minute Fridays, y'all. As always, you know your girls hoping you're having a fantabulous day. But if you're not, y'all know how we do. We flip the script because we understand that nope, we can't control every situation, circumstance, person, place, thing. Who mama, daddy, and them is, who them kids are, who wifey, husband, boo thing is, what school we gotta go to, what gig we gotta go rock today, who gonna be at that gig, and what attitude they gonna have once we bust through the door. But we understand it doesn't even matter because 365, 24/7, 60 seconds to every minute, you, sir and ma'am, control your reactions, responses, and attitude wherever you got to be today. We understand we never, ever again will let someone dictate to us what kind of day we're having based upon how they feel, what they think about us. We know we ain't gonna let nobody kill our vibe nor steal our joy on no day of the week, because why? Our actions speak louder than their hateration and their shade throwing ever could. Okay, so today I want to talk about fear. Fear is like an unpleasant emotion. It's caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous or likely to cause harm. But I really want to go further than just fears, because there's so many different kind of fears. Like, we can just have some ridiculous fears, but I want to talk about that fear on steroids, anxiety. And the definition of anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, unease. It's typically about that imminent threat with something that is uncertain or is unknown. We don't know the outcome, but we're scared. The funny thing about fear and anxiety is the 40% of things we worry about will never, ever, ever happen. Ever. Literally. Like, they're just not ever going to happen. And 30% of the things we worried about is we worried about stuff that was in the past, things that cannot be changed anyway. That's 30%. So we're down a lot, in fear. Only about 8% of the things that we worried about are worth even concerning ourselves with. 8%. So here's the thing. I want you to do me a favor. Get something that you fear. Anybody, first of all, anybody want to, admit that they got fear? I think people don't like to talk about what they're scared of because it makes them appear weak, and nobody wants to appear weak, because guess what? We ain't never scared. I ain't scared of nothing. Well, I know everybody got some fears. Okay, so I'm going to give one of my fears, and mine will be the fear on steroids, which is anxiety. Okay, so y'all, do not laugh at me. This is real talk. My biggest fear is that I will go loco. I'll go crazy. I'll go insane. And I got this fear based upon my mom has some mental illness problems. So I just fear that, oh my gosh, I'm going to go just loco out like her. Now, mind you, let me break this fear down to you. Okay, so that was the fear. I didn't know exactly what was wrong with her, but I just knew there were some mental health challenges. Okay, so come to find out, my mother, she was not born with this mental illness. Matter of fact, she was the mother of the block. She was cool. What happened was there was some substance, some bad relationships, some deaths, and a lot of things happened, but some substance abuse, really. So I've been scared that, oh my gosh, do I got the genes? Do my kids got the genes? Or woo. And my family from Detroit is like, girl, boo. No, events led up to your mother being like that. She wasn't born like that. But anyway, I took that onto myself in the back of my mind. And I can honestly say I didn't even know that was fear until I experienced anxiety for the first time. Has anybody ever felt anxiety? Baby, if you don't know what it is, you really do think you're crazy, because typically in the African American community, we don't talk about those kind of things. We don't talk about mental health. We don't talk about anxiety, because after all, we strong and we ain't never scared, so we just ride it out, or we self-medicate with the bud or the drink. That's basically what we do. We self-medicate. But anyway, so the first time I felt this anxiety, I tripped out. It was a feeling that you just I can't even explain. It's like it it's you scared of something. Have you ever seen a scary movie and something unexpected happened and you like woo? Well, that's how it hits you. It was like whoosh. Okay, and I experienced it a couple of times, not knowing what it was, and then after my husband died, that's really is a symptom. One of the things that might occur to you if you experience a death or loss, trauma. Those kind of things are going to happen. But since I didn't know what it was, because we don't talk about fear, because we ain't never scared, I didn't understand or know what it is. And actually, anxiety is like a God-given thing. It's the fight or flight. It's instilled in you to let you know, sense that there's danger coming. Because back in the day, it was, we cavemen and stuff. You had to either fight or flight. You had to have this mechanism in you to alerting you that, hey, something ain't right. It's not cool. Something ain't cool. And so then you either can determine whether you need to fight or do you need to flee for safety reasons. Well, in your mind, if you don't sense an imminent threat, then it can start, you're trying to like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What is this? What is this? So I grabbed a hold of, I must be going crazy like my mom, or it must be, you know what I'm saying? That's how it works. That's how it looks. But anxiety really is a defense mechanism that is inbred in all of us. But anyway, it can sometimes go to another level if you don't understand what's happening and you don't know what it is. And so here I am, this a chick not knowing nothing about it and experiencing, and I'm telling you, I was like, see, my fears, I knew it. I knew I was gonna be look like my mom and woo woo woo. But I'm like, no, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. But the fear just kept saying, yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I'm talking to folks and the doctors and stuff. They're like, no, you're not. That is not that. You're just experiencing this anxiety, and anxiety is XYZ and whoop-de-woo. But in my mind, anytime I'm unsure, anytime I don't know, it's like, oh my gosh, anxiety can come. And so what you have to do is what I really want to get to. First of all, no, there is one scripture that I grab a hold to, and this is what I want to give to every person that will see this. I want you to know 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. That means ain't nothing even gonna come at you. It is not allowed if you can't handle it. I'm thinking this is that's my biggest fear. But if it's allowed to come, just know that you can handle it simply because it has came to you. So whatever that fear is you have, grab a hold of that and just know that it would not be allowed if this was going to take you out, if you could not handle it. I don't care what your fear is. Just know that you can handle it. I think once you know that you can handle it, and once you identify what your fear is, you are able to deal with it. Now, some stuff does need medication, some stuff does need therapy, some stuff needs you have to do this, that, and the other. But one thing I do know, you take the cover off your fear. We got to stop being silent about our fear. We are suffering silently because we don't want to appear weak. Let me tell you something. Just exposing it, getting it out, take some of the power of whatever it is you're fearing away. And then if you start facing that thing, if you start doing that thing, you might always be a little uncomfortable, but it will never have the hold that it has on you if you don't talk about it, if you don't expose it. So anxiety, we know that the first time you do something, the first time you go somewhere, the first time you meet someone, you in a environment you don't know about, anxiety is designed to put you on alert. So I will never be rid of anxiety. And everybody has anxiety. We'll never be rid of it. But what I can do is tell my mind, this is not what it's trying to appear to me to be. I can deal with it. You can talk. Some people use pills or whatever. Some people pray or whatever, but it is just a feeling. We've got to stop letting our feelings punk us and telling us who we are. Tell your feelings to take a chill pill. And I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, once you start doing it, it gets easier. Whatever it is you're fearing, the fear of being alone, boo-boo, you might have to cry, you might have to kick and scream, but the fear of it, be alone. That's what you need to do. Be alone, because every substitution, everything you settle for, trying not to be alone, is only going to prolong the issue, and that is you will have to face it. You will have to face it. I'm not talking about dang near 90% of stuff that will never happen, 91% of stuff. I'm talking about the 8% that is really real. So a lot of us need to just chill out, because what we even worrying about ain't even worth worrying about. But those things that are real life things to worry about, just face your fear. Face it. I believe this is don't go another year. Don't go into this next year carrying these old fears. If whatever it is that you fear, do the opposite of that. That's how you handle it. If you need help, get your help. But by all means, boo-boo, start facing your fears. I love y'all. And I just don't want us to go into 2017 with stuff that has been holding us back in 2016 and back and beyond from now. You feel me? I just want us to let's be the best versions of ourselves that we can. Fears is unpleasant. It sucks, but it's also hindering. And it's a hindrance that you do have control of. Don't think you don't have control of it. You have control of it. I love y'all. Your girl's praying for you. Want you to win. Face some fears, whatever it may be. Face it. And just know, boo-boo, if you experiencing it, if you scared of it, if it done came into your circle, God done said you can bear it. And whatever steps you got to do to deal with, you can do it. Because if you couldn't, it wouldn't have even been allowed. Peace.